You know, I did 2 tours in Iraq, and most of what I saw, I can process it. Even the real ugly stuff. Combat has a grim logic to it, you know? Even when it's chaos. But there's this one thing, this one place that just doesn't fit. And I can't shake it.
So, picture this. It's 2006, my first deployment. We're operating out of a forward base in Anbar province. Our platoon's job was mostly just the grind, you know? The boring but super important stuff. Clearing routes, security patrols, looking for IEDs. It was high stress, for sure, but it was straightforward. There were rules, there was a logic. Until we got the order to investigate a village that, well, it had basically just vanished off the grid.
And then we get this order. And right from the get-go, the briefing just felt off. There was this small village on our maps, and intel said it had just gone completely silent. No radio chatter, no reports from patrols, just nothing for months. It was a ghost on the map, and command wanted us to go find out why.
And here's where it got really weird. You look at the satellite photos, and yeah, the village is there. 15, maybe 20 buildings all clustered together. But then you look at all the other intel, and it's a black hole. No heat signatures, which means no people, no fires. No tracks from vehicles coming or going, nothing. A village that size, it has to leave some kind of trace, right? For it to just go cold like that, it was unsettling. And our job was to go see if it was just abandoned or if it was something else.
So we're driving out there, and the whole ride is just tense. The heat, the dust, you know the drill. And then we see it, tucked down in this little valley. From a distance, it looks totally normal. But as our convoy rolled closer, this silence just hits you. It wasn't just quiet. It was heavy. It was wrong. You expect noise, you expect life. Here, there was just an absence of it. That's the first thing that really crawls under your skin. I mean, usually the second a Humvee shows up, you've got kids running out to see what's going on, always. But here, nothing. No goats, no chickens, not even the background hum of a generator. Just this deep, empty silence. It honestly felt like we were walking onto an abandoned movie set.
So we finally get out of the vehicles, and my squad leader, Sergeant Donnelly, he says what we're all thinking. The ground was littered with things people had just dropped. Blankets, some shoes, cooking pots. Like he said, if you're relocating, you pack, you take your life with you. This wasn't a move, this was an interruption. People left in a hell of a hurry. And as we start sweeping the houses, that feeling just gets stronger. And then I see it. In one of the homes, this meal just sitting on a clay stove. It had been there so long, it had turned into this black, crusted thing. It was such a normal, everyday sight, but it was horrifying. It's like someone was right in the middle of making dinner and they just vanished into thin air. Life just stopped, mid-motion. And that's when things really started to get weird. The day just kept getting worse. Around midday, one of our guys, Marino, sees a man in a torn dish dasha at the edge of the village, just watching us. We move to check it out, and there's nobody there, not a single footprint in the dust. A couple hours later, the smell hits us. It was rotten and sharp, and it would come in waves and then just disappear. By the time evening rolled around, we all started hearing whispers, like people talking, just around a corner, just out of sight. And then, at 2300, Clark saw it, this tall, skinny figure in a doorway, and its eyes just glowed this sick white green in his NODs. Men, at that point, fear was spreading like a sickness. We're trained soldiers, you know? We're supposed to handle this stuff. But how do you fight that? How do you fight a smell or whispers on the wind? A few of the guys swore they could make out English words in the whispers. Little things like, help me. The desert plays tricks on you, sure, but this was everyone. This wasn't just the wind. And this wasn't just us getting spooked, you know? This place was actually making people sick. Specialist Green started throwing up because of that awful smell and spiked a huge fever, saying he could hear voices calling his name. After seeing that thing in the doorway, Private Clark's hands were shaking so bad he could barely hold his weapon. Marino, he's freaking out, swearing he saw a little kid's face peeking at him from a rooftop. A roof there was no way to get on. And me, I couldn't sleep. It felt like something was always standing just behind me. I kept seeing these dark shapes, these silhouettes, gathered by the well in the center of town. So the next day, the civil affairs guys show up, and we're all thinking, okay, great, we're out of here. But no,
Their arrival just made everything a million times stranger. The second their Humvees hit the village square, all of their comms just died. Static. Nothing. They drive a half-mile out of town, and boom, everything works perfectly. They drive back in, dead again. That's when you know something is seriously wrong. So now even the officers are rattled, and they order one last full sweep of the whole place with us. The air was so thick you could taste it. We were clearing one of the bigger houses, and that's when we found it. Underneath this old, dusty rug, a cellar door. Sergeant Donnelly said we had to check it. No one wanted to.
The second we pull that door up, this smell just punches you in the face. It's that same rotten smell from before, but my God, it was 100 times worse. It was like breathing in decay itself. We couldn't see anything, so we cracked a couple of chem lights and tossed them down.
And this is what we saw down there, just lit by that eerie green glow. The walls, they were covered in these charcoal drawings, twisted figures with limbs that were way too long, stick figures drawn in circles around these dark, smeared blotches on the wall. And in the back of this little dirt room, a pile of bones. They were all mixed up, human and animal, and right on top was a skull. It was bigger than a man's, but the shape of it was just, it wasn't human. It was all wrong. And that was it. That was enough. We got the hell out of there. The entire ride back to base, not a single person said a word. What could you even say? That night, Specialist Screen's fever went through the roof. They had to medevac him the next morning. I heard he never came back to the unit.
And you want to know what the official response was? Swift and just as weird as everything else. The official report was so bland, so clinical. Abandoned settlement with evidence of ritual activity. But what they actually did tells you the real story. They sealed the whole area off, and then a little while later, an airstrike just leveled it. They didn't just quarantine it, they wiped it off the map, like it was never there.
That was years ago, and I still dream about that place. I still hear the whispers sometimes. I see those drawings on the wall. And every now and then, when it's real quiet, I swear I can smell it. That rotten smell, just for a second, right at the edge of my senses. You know, they blew the buildings to dust. But you can't kill a place. You can't bomb a feeling. And I can't help but wonder if whatever was in that village, whatever was in that cellar, is still out there. Just waiting under all that sand for the next person to come along.